First of all, what do you think about the Premier League this season? I don't know what you think, but of course you feel something different than us. But it seems like Liverpool, it will be really difficult for them to win the title this year. What do you think about it?
Well, I mean, I'm like you. I'm a big football fan, and also I'm a big Liverpool fan. When you think of Liverpool and you think of the great Liverpool teams, I think what we're currently witnessing now with Liverpool is a great Liverpool team. Okay, never won the league last year, and obviously done well to get to the Champions League. But the first 11 is as good as any team in the Premier League. Now I know people will talk about Chelsea, people will talk about Manchester City, but Liverpool, if they have a good run of form with with less injuries, they really will be a challenge for any team. There's no doubt that you're probably thinking Chelsea, maybe Manchester United, Manchester City, potentially their squads are potentially better, but the first 11 with Liverpool are a match for anyone, and if they can stay fit, Liverpool can and will win the league. We all know that's a big if, because it's very rare that, teams go full season without having the obstacles, players getting injured. We've seen it last year. But Liverpool are a great team, and I love watching them. I'm like you, I'm a big fan. I love watching players who get me on the edge of the seat. We have players who do that. Players who are exciting, players who are great to watch, players who score goals from nothing, defenders who can stop goals as well. So I think we are a very, very good team. In fact, I think we're a great team. I mean, they're probably not favourites, we know that, but I think they'll give it a good go, and I think they'll be there or thereabouts.
In 2006, you scored a goal in the match you played against Galatasaray in Istanbul. What do you remember about the atmosphere of that game? Galatasaray fans, Istanbul, Turkish fans. What do you remember about that?
I remember I scored 2 goals. 2 goals I scored. You know what I remember more than anything about, and I'm not saying this because I'm talking to you, but I know Turkish football. I know how passionate the football fans are, and I know how much they love the football. I know how much they love the clubs. And I was at Istanbul in 2005, going to that stadium, and it was a relatively new stadium, and watching Liverpool pick up the Champions League there was incredible. The year later I signed, and I was more looking forward to going to that place and playing in that stadium where Liverpool won the Champions League than anything, because obviously the history and the history of Liverpool Football Club and the history of going to Istanbul as a fan and enjoying the atmosphere was incredible. But when you get over there and you play, and I mean, we lost the game 3-2, if I remember right. I will say this, I mean, the atmosphere within Turkey is very, very partisan, and you know how to get behind a team. And you know what? I love it. That's what football should be like. That is why you go to team. You want to go there, and you want to go and support your team, and you give everything for it. That's what football fans do who love their club. And we have obviously, you've got Fenerbahce, you've got obviously, Trabzonspor, you've got Galatasaray, all these good teams in Turkey, and the passion and the support of all the fans to their home team is brilliant, and I liken it to the support that we have at Liverpool. The fans get right behind the club because they know the importance of getting behind them, because it knows that it gives the players that little bit more of a lift. I think that's what you guys do over in Turkey. You really, support the teams, and you really get behind them, and you really give them that little bit more energy, to go out there and perform that little bit better.
Sponsors are very important, as everybody knows, in modern football. In Liverpool, you had great sponsors as a team. Which sponsor and team relationship is the best, in your opinion?
Clubs are massively influenced by the sponsors, and why we're here today, and you guys go over to obviously Anfield a lot, you spend time in a Carlsberg lounge, and when you look at a Carlsberg, for example, when you think of what they've done for the club, they've been within the club for over 25 years. Shirt sponsors, sponsors, within the stadium. And I think when you think of Liverpool, and when you think of obviously sponsoring they've had, I think Carlsberg always gets a mention, because obviously what they've done. And as much as they have got a different sponsor now, people still associate Carlsberg with Liverpool, and that is just the way it is. And it's been like a family atmosphere. It's been like a family reunion whenever anyone goes to Anfield, and you get to spend time in the Carlsberg. So I think we all realise for the importance, obviously, of Carlsberg. What it brings to the club. It's also a nice beer as well, which helps.
Robbie, if you have a chance, play with a striker, the current player, who do you choose?
It's a great question, and as much as Mo Salah is probably the main man and scores loads of goals, and I think he is incredible, but I'm also a huge fan of Sadio Mane. I think Sadio Mane is brilliant as well. I mean, what an horrible question, really is. I mean, that's like asking to choose who's your favourite brother, is that? You know, it's an horrible question, and I don't know. I could pick certainly one of them two. I think they're both brilliant, and I'm a huge fan of Sadio Mane. I think he's an incredible footballer. Obviously, I think Salah is a much better goal scorer, but I think maybe the speed, the agility, and everything of Sadio Mane is quite incredible as well.
I think you have a great relationship, but if you play with the club, what do you think? You had a good behavior, or, for example, some crisis with him?
Yeah, well, I think what you've got to remember is I was a player who always wanted to play, and when I wasn't playing, I was unhappy, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, players want to play. So if Jurgen Klopp was playing me, then he would be my best mate. I would love him to bits. But if I was playing for Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp wasn't playing with me, I would knock on his door and I would ask questions. He would sit me down, he would hug me, he would get me in a headlock, he would do everything he can, and I would still be happy because he is a great man, and I think we all love him. You know, he's good to be around, and I think he has that unbelievable capability of making everyone feel comfortable. You know, and when you're not playing, you're still important. You know, some managers in the past have not done that. You know, they've probably not realised the importance of, you know, the 11 after the 11. I think Jurgen Klopp sort of understands that a lot more than a lot of other managers, and he would bring out, I think, the best of me. But I think I would play under him because I said before, I would score goals, and when I'm scoring goals for Jurgen Klopp, he doesn't leave me out, so I would be best mates with him.
Thank you.
I actually want to talk about the past. Robbie, in 1997, you were punished for wearing a t-shirt to support the Dockers in Liverpool. Would you do the same today? Actually, I want to ask about that. What do you think about the attitudes of today's football players on such issues like this?
I think what you've got to remember is, you know, football players have a platform, and football players, you know, are in the limelight in the public, you know, the public eye. So whatever they say maybe gets scrutinised, probably gets scrutinised more so now than what it did back in my day. At the time of, you know, I done that, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I mean, understand why, because obviously when people are starting to put political message into slogans or t-shirts, then not everyone has the same opinion of yourself. But I mean, what I did was just maybe highlighted the fact, you know, it wasn't a massive political opinion in terms of I'm backing you as much as I was backing them. I was, you know, doing it, and I was showing them that, you know, I was with them and I was supporting them. Now, not everyone agrees with that. Would I do it again? I mean, probably would. You know, I think nowadays the fine's a lot more money. But if you were going to pay my fine, I would do it.
We saw on the papers about Kylian Mbappe. He wants to leave because he's not too in front right now. He wants to leave. It's all rumors right now. But do you want to see Mbappe in Liverpool jersey?
Well, he's a great player. Of course, I'd love to see him. I think whenever you are a supporter of obviously a team, regardless of whether it's Liverpool, City or whatever, you want to see good players and you want to see great players in your team. Now, will he make your team better? I mean, there's a question there because I think we've got, you know, very good players there. But I'm sure any club in the world and any fan in the world of that club would want to Kylian Mbappe. He is an excellent player, and we'd all want to see him in our shirts. I'm stating the obvious. I'm telling you what you would be telling me. You know, I'm a fan. I really am. You know, I love football. I love watching my team. I love players who said before, who get you on the edge of your seat and excite you. He is that player, and of course I'd love to see him in a red shirt. I really would. Picking up that Champions League, picking up that, you know, Premier League, I think it's something that we would all love to see.